In this video, we're going to use graphs to find the composition of two functions. So we're given our function f is a quadratic function or the graph of a parabola, and our function g is a linear function or has a graph of a line. The first problem says to find f composed with g of 1. So again, recall what composition means. It means to find f of g of 1. So we need to first find the inner function value. To find g of 1 from a graph means to find what is the y value of the point on the graph when x is 1. So notice that here's our point 1. When x is 1, the y value of the function g is 2. So this means to find f of g of 1 is really to find f of 2. So f of 2 means now our input value, or x value, is 2, and we need to find what's the y value on the point on the graph of f. Well, the point on the graph of f is 2, 4, so the output of the function f is 4. So f of 2 is 4. So again, we let one function's output be the input of the other function. Let's try this again. F composed with g of 0 is to find f of g of 0. So g of 0 is found by going to the x value of 0 and find what the y coordinate of that x value is on the graph of g. Well, we're actually at it, right? It's at the origin. So the y value in x is 0 on the graph of g is 0. So f of g of 0 is equivalent to finding f of 0. Now f of 0 means go to the x value of 0, figure out what the y value is on the graph of f. Well, that point is 0, 4. So f of 0 is 4. G composed with f of negative 1, so be careful with the order here. This is g of f of negative 1. So now we go to the x value of negative 1, figure out what the y value on the graph of f is. So notice that negative 1, 1 is on our graph of f. So f of negative 1 is 1, so now we need to find g of 1. G of 1 means go to the x value of 1, find out what is the y value at that point on the graph of g, and that y value is 2. G composed with f of negative 2 is g of f of negative 2. Well, f of negative 2 means we're going to go to negative 2 and figure out what is the y value on the graph of f, which is our blue graph, and that y value is negative 4. So negative 2, negative 4. So now we need to find g of negative 4. So g of negative 4 is to go to the x value of negative 4, figure out where does that graph intersect that point, and it's off of our screen here. So let's think about if we can figure out what it is. So the graph of g is doing what? Down 2 over 1, so that's negative 2, negative 4, then down 2 over negative 1, which would be negative 3, negative 6, then down 2 over 1 would be negative 4, negative 8. So g of negative 4 is negative 8. Now g composed with g of 0, that's a tricky one. We have to do g of 0. So we're going to input a function value back into the function g. First find the inner function value, g of 0. So g of 0 means go to the x value of 0. What is the y value of the point on the graph of g, which is 0. And then g of 0 is go to the 0 x value. What is the y value there? And it is 0.